welcome to a late night CFL Week 11 stream where we are hosting the New Orleans Saints, who are much improved from last year after holding the number one overall pick, drafting the defensive end Raphael Chancellor. They're now 4-5 this year, so looking a little bit better. Bo Nix coming off a really nice game where he had 381 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Hope to limit that. They also have a familiar foe for us in the running back, Damian Pierce, of course, former Texan. But we're on a hot streak of our own now, winning 2 straight after trading away a bunch of guys at the deadline, and hope to continue that. But Nick Coates can't make a tackle, and I mean, let's see Pierce turn what should be a loss into a 7-yard gain. Saints did finally get rid of Dennis Allen. It took them a while. I think this is the first year with their new coach, and I don't remember where they got him from. And Nix throws that one away. Mayo getting some pressure in his face. We're still without Pittman and Hunter. Meanwhile, Tyler Reese, the most recent of the injuries, that's still out. So that's he's shortest term though. So 3rd and 3, gonna pinch at D-line, try to stop the run, and Rook Orhorhoro blows up the read option. Thank goodness for him, because otherwise Nix had a lane. Great penetration, and it'll be a 3 and out for New Orleans. So we're tied for the division lead now at 5-5. Very streaky team, 3-0. Then losing 5 straight, then winning 2 straight. Jacksonville's been kind of staying the course right around 500. So they went from behind us to ahead of us to now tied. And we're going to keep getting this to Xavier Worthy. He had a fantastic game last week. Over 200 all-purpose yards. His first career rushing touchdown. Technically, it was just an RPO that went a yard backwards. Wait a minute. Who's their superstar DT? I'm kind of confused here. So, yeah, and Garrison ran it really well against the Jets. Let me check this. I want to see who this guy is. I thought Chancellor was superstar. I don't know who this Weber is. And then they got Jalen Phillips on the other side. Just curious. Who's the superstar DT? I don't recognize him at all. I think they're still in a 4-3. David Weber in his 2nd year. They only have 2 defensive tackles, excuse me. Probably one of them hurt or something. I think the CPU will always sign a guy if they've got fewer than 3 DTs. Alright. Potentially a chance to take a shot here. I might just throw up a 50-50 ball to Barker. Richardson probably overthrows it, but that's fine. We should be able to convert 3rd and short anyway. Actually, let's go. Yes! Travis Barker, big gain to the 28-yard line. Richardson leads him inside. It's pretty much impossible to get those throws over to the defensive back. It looks like you should be able to, but it never works. So, but there he finds him with a bullet. Just kind of beating the DB inside. And now we're going to launch one for Granson, just a little far. I mean, better that than behind him and risking a pick by Liam Eichenberg, that's for sure. Not a completely awful throw, and to be honest, I would have liked to see Granson maybe dive at that. I don't think he hangs on, but you never know. Dominic Campbell, though, he's a good pass catcher out of the backfield. Of course, we're missing DJ Gatos, but he's an alright replacement. Let's go out route for Worthy. Press coverage here from New Orleans. We'll see how that works. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Come on, get there! Ah. Richardson with a couple errant throws to end this drive. 2 potential touchdowns, and I mean, I can't blame him as much for this one. I think he was under pressure. Yeah, I mean, rolling out way back. If he stands in the pocket, he's going to get lit up. Does a good job to keep the play alive, and I mean, like before, just keeps it away from the defender. It's a long ways to get this ball when you're running backwards. But anyway, we should still be able to take a 3-0 lead over those pesky Saints. As a Vikings fan, I obviously have reasons to hate the Saints for 2009, but I guess the Colts also have reasons to hate the Saints over 2009. Of course, that Super Bowl, the onside kick at halftime went straight to a Colts player and he muffed it and really let New Orleans back into the game. Obviously, New Orleans shouldn't have been there in the first place, but a couple bad calls and dirty play allowed them to get past us in the NFC Championship. They've been kind of stuck in mediocrity in CFL. It seems like just, some respectable seasons for the most part. Last year was really the first time that they were truly terrible. I kind of want to switch this up here and get actually Courtney Bugs. Rugar Harhoro is a pretty good run stopper, but he has some severe deficiencies when it comes to... Wait, what? No. He has some pretty severe deficiencies in, pass rush. And yeah, we traded away star DT to Forrest Buckner at the deadline, obviously, and then that was the big move, but then Reese's injury. And he's the 10th overall draft pick, I believe, in his rookie year, having a nice start to it, but missing, I think, 4 games. So we're real thin at DT. Hasn't hurt us a ton so far, and I don't know, if anything, it seems like we've kind of responded to the challenge and the adversity. Dark Forest about to lay out, I don't know who it was that dropped that. Johnson, definitely looking at the hit that's about to come to him. It's definitely a pass you can hang on to. Really, if I were throwing that, I'd want to be doing a low pass or leading behind him in order to protect him from the hit a little bit. Nix didn't do that. Catchable football. And in the end, he drops it before the contact gets there. Richardson finally makes an accurate throw for Granson, but this one will be just a 9-yard gain. Definitely would rather have had the 2 touchdown opportunities back and have him miss that one. We'll go back to the ground game, I think. Only 8 yards on 1 carry. Passing game's been good, though. Yeah, this offense is a really good offense on paper, even without Pittman and Jarquez Hunter. You've got, one of the very good offensively minded coach in Steichen. You've got Richardson as the star QB. Worthy, at this point, has really demonstrated himself to be a premier receiver. Should have handed that one off. You can see Campbell was supposed to run in that direction, but then I was just a little late to react. I was able to steer Richardson into the hole. If I ran Richardson where he was supposed to go, it's a TFL. Instead, first down, because Richardson's got good agility and stuff. And there's Garrison. He's not much of a pass catcher, but we use him there, wide open. take it. And now 2nd and 1. Real chance to take a shot here. Which is really, I'm thinking, let's try, yes. I like PA double post. You got Barker and Worthy. You know what? No. We're going to just get this first. The way we've been running the ball, the way we've got momentum, that is a horse collar if I've ever seen one. I mean, it's a first down either way. But, I mean, Saints refs, come on. Do another RPO. Just these quick reads. Richardson generally pretty good at. And Garrison continues a nice run of games. Average 9 yards a carry against the Jets. Now averaging 10. So only 2 carries. Unlikely to continue, but you never know. That's okay. Oh, I didn't realize Worthy was stopping on that route. Is that Julian Blackmon? Oh yeah, the Saints signed Blackmon in free agency. So that's another familiar guy. Obviously let him go. I'm not sure how to read this. I think we'll just run with Garrison, to be honest. Oh, wait. Yes, Worthy. I thought I pressed that button late, but thankfully we're just in time. Richardson's able to make that throw. Slot corner. Jumps inside, tries to play the run, which is fair considering how well we've ran it, but Xavier Worthy is still one of the premier receivers in this league. Had a tremendously slow start to this season. I think I made a little meme or stat or something about he was our leading receiver with like 310 yards through, I don't know, 7 games, whatever. And if you were on any of the other AFC South teams, he would be like their, 4th best receiver. He had fewer yards than the Titans halfback, Leslie Byers. He had fewer yards than a bunch of guys. He had fewer yards than 3 Texans receivers. It was a bad start to the season, and he goes and puts up 197 receiving yards, plus yeah, we'll call that a throwaway. Put everybody on the left side and run right, except the Saints appear to be in a zone coverage where they got a bunch of guys on the right side, even though there's nobody to cover. Potentially good option here would be to pass to the left, because they don't, there's 2 defenders. We'll run. I want to run, and yeah, Marquise Garrison, end zone touchdown. For what it's worth, we have a couple scenario goals in this game. There's one to get 3 passing touchdowns. That's some kind of breakout response where it's everybody is pitching in. Let's try to keep the momentum going on in the passing game or something. Obviously, Worthy had a great game against the Jets, and then before that, it was Barker who went off against the Bucs with 3 touchdowns. And then there's another scenario because we had a bunch of rushing yards and no sacks against the Jets. There's an offensive line one where we get XP based on rushing yards. So Antoine Williams all over that, but unable to make a play on it. Just kind of gets boxed out. Saints really unable to get anything going here. We're going to do split field coverage. Oh boy. Good little flood concept there. Oscar Johnson, I believe, is the receiver. Oh no, Jawan Johnson? Oh, that's the tight end. Who's Oscar Johnson? I don't remember. Anyway, 1st and 10. Nick Coates, nice hit. Chris Olave still hangs on, of course, but looked cool. He'll think about that. That's obviously a lie. It's just a computer. He doesn't think. Oh well. 2nd and 4. Short yardage. Opportunity for Knicks, or maybe they'll check down, get the first with Pierce, his 2nd catch of the day. Again, goes for about 7. I think they'll take gains of 7 and 6 yards just on the checkdowns to Pierce. But Orlando Holmes blows up the run, coming downhill from the safety spot right before the ball is snapped. An offensive line just not really accounting for him in that blocking scheme. So he sneaks through for the TFL. Risky play. If it's play action, we might be kind of screwed. Oh, nice play, Trent Wolf. Again, Olave hangs on. But you got a hand in there. I don't think man coverage is a great idea. I'm chickening out. Bo Hanna, I'm going to use her. Late round corner. I believe he's a rookie. Got to go cover Pierce. Nope, they got Olave. Oh, he's short. He is short. Great tackle by Trent Wolf. I think they're going to... No, they don't. I don't know about this call on 4th and inches. I wonder if part of the reasoning is actually the clock. So, yeah, kind of the fear, potentially, if you're looking at this from the Saints' perspective, is if you go for it and get it, you're gonna use up clock, and then I'm gonna get the ball with maybe say 3 or 4 minutes left. I could have a long possession that drains the clock, and New Orleans doesn't get it again before half. Kind of the logic with taking a field goal might be you get your field goal on the board quick. Now there's 6 minutes left, so New Orleans probably gets it again, even if we have a good drive, string together some first downs or whatever. We really are going to need to play defense one more time in this half, unless we have a really, really methodical thing. But the way we've been moving it, I don't think that's going to... Ooh. Is that Luke Bowens hurt? And that stops the clock, too. So Luke Bowens, 2nd-year guard. Was thinking about planning to start him at the beginning of this year, but I ended up re-signing or franchise tagging Quentin Nelson, hoping for kind of one last Super Bowl run. Then the season went to heck, and I said, forget it. Traded Quentin Nelson at the deadline, so now Bowens is back to starting. We've got kind of a system here with there's Raphael Chancellor, 1st overall pick. We've got kind of a system with our offensive linemen. Last several drafts, we've drafted an offensive lineman in the 2nd round, and then benched him, and then had him start in his 2nd year. That applies to all 3 now of our interior linemen. Mahogany, the first, he's now started for 3 years, or 2.5, and then Chandler Culver after that, starting for 1.5 years, and Bowens now in his 1st year as a starter. This, I think, is going to be a good punt. Feeling this one. Oh, yeah. Look at that coffin corner. Look at that coffin corner. Out at the 4. Presley Harvin. So Saints get a pretty quick stop, thanks in part to the fact that the Bowens injury stopped the clock. I did run it with Richardson, which kept it going for a bit rather than an incompletion if I threw it away. So I don't know. They got some time. Gonna need to be a long drive, distance-wise, if they want to tie this game up. If they're methodical, they're gonna run out of time. And yeah, so far it looks like they might be. 2 runs and no first downs, and now they look like they're going to run it again. 3rd and 2. 3 minutes left already. And there's penetration, but he gets through it. Pierce with a first down. But at this point, tick-tock. As I kind of said, the field goal by the Saints helps them clockwise. Had they gone for it, they'd be, probably have bled off some more time, and this drive really doesn't have a chance. As it stands, a 2-minute drill now. They've used up half their time and gone about, 15 yards, 20 yards. Probably going to start passing a bit more now. Nix hasn't been great through the air. Some ugly drops and also some impressive catches. So mixed bag in terms of what his receivers have done for him. And they're going to go play action here, and it's just a miss. That's on Nix. So minute 34 to go. And they're going to go... I don't really buy the fact that... I feel like with the situation, I feel like you got to try to score. I don't see... called it. I mean, my guys don't want to cover, but it's okay because they drop it. But yeah, I said I don't really buy that they're gonna, or I guess I didn't say, but I was about to say, I don't really buy that they just want to run it, even though they had the 2 running backs offset eye. Just you gotta try to tie this game up. You're about to. Wow, great coverage. Should have had the sack. Nix makes some nice mobility. That Olave drop certainly hurts for New Orleans. A couple key drops. And an awful punt. So we'll take that. Now Richardson's got a chance. I think Campbell in the flat looks good here. Maybe not. I'll just hop out of bounds after a little 4-yard run. Not bad. Let's run it. There we go. Boatwright. Will Boatwright. Big gain. Gets a block. Will Boatwright stiff arms out of bounds at the 43-yard line. His yards per carry this year has to be weirdly good. He's got a small sample size and he's broken off a few really nice runs. He was, come on, give me that. Yes! He hangs on. What a play to Barker. Travis Barker, the free agent pickup after Pittman's injury. He comes in, 3-touchdown game against the Bucks, and just continuing to be a part of this offense. And what a drive now. Richardson's been... Oh no. Richardson's been money since dislocating his shoulder. As weird as that sounds, that's been the turning point for him. I'm not sure I really like Barker running towards the safety on this. I feel like a comeback route is a little better. And we'll have some extra protection in for those star defensive linemen. Yeah, they've kind of got all that covered up. Just live to fight another down. So... at this point... 3rd and goal from the 14. Barker might just split these safeties. I don't know. It would be a tight window throw, but I might just launch that one. Don't love it. Could try a high pass to Worthy in the back of the end zone, but and he kind of runs away from that corner. So we'll avoid the sack. We'll take the 2-score lead into the break. Definitely happy with the half, really on both sides of the ball. And I'm not going to squib kick because a couple weeks ago, the Vikings kicked a game-winning field goal with like 9 seconds left. In a tie game in the fourth quarter, kicked the field goal, 9 seconds left, goes through with like 5 seconds, squib kicked it, and gave up a return touchdown. So, I mean, the whole point of the squib is to not give up a return touchdown. So, I don't know, like, why even bother using it at that point? Yeah. So this is I guess not a huge drive. You've already got the 2-score lead. The biggest thing at this point that you're looking for is just this defense continuing to find success and hopefully kind of maybe forcing their will on the Saints a little bit more rather than just benefiting from the drops. Oh, I should have thrown to Worthy there. Garrison gets one. Want to be a run team, but sometimes defense doesn't let ya. Barker 1-on-1 shot on this outside with press coverage. Play action. And a wide open Worthy. Come on. Oh. I probably should have pass led left-ish. I don't know. There's probably a way to make that happen. But again, biggest thing now with playing with the lead, the biggest thing is just the defense. Flip and get our players a little bit more space to work with as we run this little concept there. Oh, Granson! Tried to quick pass. Richardson, I think I accidentally did a touch rather than a bullet. I really needed a bullet on that one. Ends up being incomplete. Oh boy. Valentine, thank you. Johnson brought down. Is that Oscar Johnson? I swear there's a guy named Oscar Johnson. I don't even know if he's on the Saints. He could be like, I mean, he could be like, I don't know what's a random Trent Wolf, are you kidding me? He's like 5 yards behind the receiver. I don't know how that happened. That's one that happens when you play the CPU. Not one that goes in your favor. I mean, we'll take it. It's, I mean, FTS. So Richardson continues a fun little stretch here of very few pass touchdowns this season. Not necessarily totally his fault, where we've had, I mean, you know, you're around 500. The yardage has not been bad. It's just like I should have thrown that. The hitch routes were open. If I throw them quick, I was looking downfield, and then wasn't quite there. By the time I went back to the hitches, it was too late. Come on, Garrison, give me that, let's go. Richardson with a little push at the end. And for as many kind of mediocre runs as we've had, we're still somehow getting 5 a carry out of Garrison and 22 a carry out of Boatwright. Like, let's just run up the middle. When you're up 10 and have the ball in the red zone, you don't need to get greedy. You can take these. You can take, heck, I'll do another little RPO. Shoot, no, I'm not doing an RPO. I mean, I'll I'll call another RPO, but Saints gonna press, show blitz. Let's just see what happens. Here we go. Oh boy, that was bad. That was bad. Blackman would not enjoy Julian Blackman getting a revenge interception against us while he plays for the Saints. I don't know what I saw there, to be honest. Definitely not as bad as the pick I threw trying to get to McMillan against the Ravens. But that's definitely up there as one of the real questionable decisions. There's a lot of interceptions in this game that's just like Madden being Madden. And it's like, that's dumb. So, yeah. And the thing is, when you talk about realism, you don't want a league where every quarterback is throwing 20 picks a year. It just kind of breaks the immersion. You don't want a league where you throw 15 and it's like, wow, really clean season. But at the end of the day, I'm not an NFL quarterback. I can't make reads like one. So I'm gonna have some of those. And yeah, you get the drops, and that kind of lets you hopefully have a little bit more realistic interception numbers on the whole. Saints exploit the cover 3 that we love to run. It's a Gus Bradley staple. And nice tackle. Is that bad? No. Who is that? Is that Drayton? Oh, I can't think. There's a bunch of S names. Oh my! I called the wrong formation here. This is bad. Yeah. No. It isn't Steve Sullivan. There's a Scott Drayton we've got. I drafted a bunch of edge rushers kind of trying to find like a gem, and really none of them did much to differentiate themselves. So there's a bunch of like mid-round rookies who are like 68, 67. And yeah, because they were all so not disappointing, just average. Like I would have much rather had like one bust and one, really good guy who can go start. Because you didn't really get the one good one. Trade for Jack Sawyer. So there's kind of a logjam at edge. Sawyer, I think, has yet to record a sack with us, but he's a good run defender, and I would like to kind of keep him around. And another part of that is just the sliders aren't particularly kind to pass rush, and it's also kind of too easy to blitz, so the total sack numbers are pretty good, but it's all like linebackers on even corners and DBs on blitzes. Like Jerome Baker, and what is that animation? Our leading sack getters are Jerome Baker, Antoine Williams, I believe. Buckner used to have the lead, but he got traded away. I think Joey Mayo has 2, and yeah, the linebackers. Nice job, Holmes. Good contain. Ponix, 3 carries, all negative. Obviously, the kneel down is one of them, but then the 2 read options that go for loss. Both of them had a little bit of potential, just didn't get past the one guy. 2nd and goal now. Chance to make up for it, but he misses. Separation there. 3rd and goal from the 9. And you're going to come out with 2 tight ends and try to make me think that you're running it. Yeah, go ahead, run it. I'll take a run. That's out. So, if you're see, this is where I guess you maybe would have liked to have ran it because you're down 13, so you really do need touchdowns, not field goals. And maybe if you run for 3 or 4, you think about going for it. Now, the benefit for New Orleans is that you can give up the field goal, and it's still only a 2-score game. Or you can settle for a field goal again, and it's a 1-score game. That's 16-9. But I'll take the 10-point lead. I feel comfortable with it. Still a lot of football to be played, but Colts are hot. And when you hot, you hot. 2nd and 2. We love those. I've always kind of felt like this is a short yardage offense. We like to be in those, like to stay ahead of the chains. I mean, obviously everybody does, but I think we're more dependent on it than most. I really, really hate being in 3rd and long. That's where our offense goes from capable to bad. And yeah, I mean, the thing kind of with our offense is it's definitely a hot or cold kind of thing, and you'll see this where when we're playing with the lead and we can run it and we can, you can stay ahead of the chains, it'll work. And then, and you'll see successful passes off play action. But when we're down and when we have to pass and when it's bad, and then it gets worse because we can't throw in those have to have it situations. The good throws come on plays like that 2nd and 2, or even this 1st and 10, where they've got to, at least a little. They've got to at least think about the run, and then we can hit Granson for 6. He's having a solid day. Could have had the touchdown. Obviously, that one wasn't meant to be. But 4 for 33 is nothing to sneeze at out of your tight end. The one thing I was really planning to do more of this season was swap out Granson and Valentine, as kind of Granson being the... You had a ton of guys on that right side, and I was trying to set up the blocks, and I always forget that they just don't. Because they're supposed to be like receivers. You're supposed to have the option to throw that bubble screen, but the issue is if you throw it at that time, it's so late in the play that you're going to get a legal man downfield, so I've got to keep with Richardson. But the receivers still think that they're receivers, so they don't block for me like they're supposed to. And then you get that. Richardson probably could have dove ahead for the 1st down. Instead, I scramble outside, try to set up those blocks. Don't get them. Jalen McMillan, meanwhile, has kind of disappeared. He's had a rough season, really start to finish. Richardson's been up and down. Worthy's been down, and then huge game. Barker came in and had some big games, and then some couple quiet ones, or one quiet one. I don't know. He's gonna be a free agent at the end of this year, and I don't know if we re-sign him. So obviously, well, Pittman's also gonna be a free agent, and I think kind of the establishment of Barker combined with Richardson's contract being so big has kind of made it clear that it's time for Pittman to go. and let Worthy really establish himself as this wide receiver one. A question is kind of what you do at the 2 and 3 spot. And because you got Barker extended, you've got McMillan may or may not be extended. And then the other one is Riley Mahan, who is a very nice young player that I drafted, I think, third. Out at the 3, let's go. I think Mahan was a third rounder. And he's got hidden dev. He's like 72 overall, and I'm redshirting him, so he's gonna get some upgrades at the end of the year. And come on, Baker, there we go. 2-yard loss, and now you're thinking safety. I'm almost tempted to come out in a goal line defense. I'm not going to, but it's definitely a thought. 2nd and 12. Here we go. Orlando Holmes, get there. Oh. I mean, it could have been, you absolutely could have contained that to a 3 or 4 yard gain if you wanted to, but I wanted to be aggressive. I wanted to go in there and penetrate, make the safety. We already saw Orlando Holmes. Shoot, let's just do this. Get over there, thank you. Saw Orlando Holmes get the 1 TFL, wanted another one. In the iconic words of Qui-Gon Jinn, when you gamble, sometimes you lose. But, I mean, I'll stand by the gamble, because if they run for 3 or 4, then they can try again on 3rd down and potentially convert that. You get that 1 safety, and you get the ball back, and you get 2 points. I wasn't quite expecting it to go for a 1st down. That one, after the Trent Wolfe interception, I got a little greedy and thought that Hannah might teleport into that passing lane. I've definitely seen it happen where I've been on the wrong side of it. Fortunate miss there by Bo Nix. If he puts that, on the receiver's body, it's potentially picked off by me, Antoine Williams. But he leads it to the right, and that's, about the best option they could have had. I can't see the sticks on that play for some reason, but Trey McBride gets the first. So New Orleans not going away. They're not really taking control of the game, but they're hanging in it. It's the stupid. Why does that glitch happen? So that's an 8-yard game. It's like, can I just... I guess it's realistic that you can't see the sticks on the field. Holy cow, Giants, what happened? The Lions suck this year. Oh, the really funny thing about this CFL is that the Lions, like in real life, put together some 11, 12 win seasons. I think they had 2 of them, and I think they were a 1 seed in one of the years. And they still haven't won a playoff game. The Rams came into their house. The 7 seed Rams won a wild card. And this was what? Shoot, I'm trying to think of the year. This was 2024. The Lions had the 1 seed. The Rams were a wild card. Won the wild card on the road. Came to Detroit in the divisional and won. So anyway, now the Lions suck. They had their window, and it's kind of closed. So they have not won a playoff game since the 90s. 3rd and 5, here we go. Big play. I'm coming over with Wolf. If they try a quick... Oh shoot, what are we doing? What are we doing? Touchdown. Darnell Mooney. So that was not what you wanted. The 97-yard drive that could have ended in a safety. And the Saints cut it to a 3-point game. So even a field goal by us doesn't really make this a comfortable lead. But with 5 minutes left, Well, you might not even need a field. You need to chew a lot of clock, or you need to score a touchdown. Or you need to just, play defense, which in theory shouldn't be too hard. But you just never know. Come on, boat right. Well, that'll hurt the average a bit. Probably could have kept with Richardson. But playing a little conservative right now. So, like, something I wanted to do this year and kind of forgot about was I want to rotate the tight ends. Because you have Granson as kind of the blocker and Valentine, or Granson as the receiver, Valentine the blocker. So like in a spot like this, we're going to put Granson out, Valentine in, to try to kind of say we want to run this football. Valentine is a premier blocker. I love him at fullback. 2nd and 8, but we're going to do the RPO. We'll take it. Worthy. Not exactly thrilled with that. This offense got off to a good start, and then it's been kind of cold. Because what, didn't we have like 13 at halftime? Come on, Barker. Give me this first down. Yes, yes, yes! Oh, we needed that. Oh, we needed that. I mean, there's so many just great things about that play because now, even worst case, even, if you do nothing with this drive, you're going to take it to the 2-minute warning and you're going to be able to pin the Saints back deep. So then you're kind of thinking, all right, worst case scenario, you can, maybe play a conservative defense, keep them out of the end zone, and head to overtime if all else fails. They're coming. They're coming. This could be our dagger. Richardson in the gun with 2 tight ends. We'll just throw to Campbell, and he's got a wide open lane. I mean, oh my God, and what a sexy juke move. That's a first down. Past midfield. And now, tick-tock. 16-13. Colts lead. It's nervous time here in Indianapolis. They got Bonita covering Xavier Worthy. I mean, there we go. Whoop! And now, it's not your dagger, but it's getting there. So yeah, the 3 receiving touchdowns goal we're definitely not going to hit. There's a rushing yards goal, and I don't know exactly what it was. So now, if they get the stop, it's going to be about a minute left, and they'll need the touchdown. Boat right, that helps a lot. 3rd and 3. I mean, we're going to go extra offensive lineman. Extra offensive lineman. Worthy in there as the threat to the RPO, which we're not doing. But here you go. Campbell up the middle. Got the first down. And that is your dagger. The Colts have won 3 in a row once again. New Orleans Saints fall to 4-6, and the Colts now have the best record in the AFC South, as crazy as that sounds. Jaguars will play, what do they play? Jaguars are 5-5, we're 6-5. When Ben plays his game, if he wins, he will take the division lead because he has a tiebreaker over me. What a game. Let's take one more knee to put this one away. That'll do it. Pretty good game by the defense. I don't think Bo Nix is the guy for the Saints. I gotta be honest about that. I know it wasn't a great they were in kind of an unfortunate spot getting the number one pick in a draft that didn't have a clear top QB. Max Young fell to 3. New England traded up for him, and I can't help but wonder if New Orleans would have benefited from going QB, because Bo Nix has just been kind of stuck at the 72, 73 overall. Obviously, was bad enough to give him the worst record in football a year ago, and now you're 4-6. It's just, I know Dennis Allen isn't exactly an offensive genius out here, but you gotta wonder if a QB change would be good for them. Once again, the CPU really just doesn't like to run the ball, but we did a pretty good job holding Pierce to 4 a carry. Worthy Barker, nice duo. I mean, not exactly thrilled with it, but a couple misses by Richardson kind of hurt him. What else happened? Jamel Dean is apparently a Saint. He's got to be ancient. Oh, he's only 8. Okay. Rukor Harhoro. How about 3 TFLs? And Trent Wolf had that crazy pick. Nobody got any pass breakups. Jalen Phillips had a sack. That was just basically a read option that didn't work. Saints ran a couple of read options that were also TFLs. None of our guys got credit for sacks, so I don't know. That's fun. Anyway, GG. Oh yeah, Matt Gay needed all of his field goals, and Presley Harvin will take that 50 yards punt. All right, I'll see you in the next one. FTS, and which can stand for 2 things that are relevant today, I guess. Yeah, Colts lead the AFC South, only team in the division with a winning record. Let's go.